Admiral's log. The battle with the French was a hard-fought one, but our ships emerged victorious. The French sent a significant task force to stop our landing at Amund, but they were no match for our well-trained navy. Our ships were able to inflict heavy damage on the French fleet, and very few of their ships were able to escape the battle. It was a decisive victory that will go down in history. Despite the success of the battle, I am still concerned with the ongoing landing. The French may have been defeated at sea, but they still have a strong presence on land. Our troops are facing heavy resistance and progress is slow. I know that the outcome of the battle will have a significant impact on the war, and I'm closely monitoring the situation. As the war continues, our navy is proving to be a formidable force on the seas. I'm proud of my sailors and their unwavering dedication to Japan. Some of these men have been at sea longer than they've been in Japan. I know that the war's far from over, but I know that we can see it through to the end. Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to the Japanese campaign, episode 28. It's June 1928 and the British and the Germans have had enough. The war reparations can be given to all members of the Winner Alliance. So apparently, I am no longer at war with Germany. The real question is, what do I get out of it? And the answer is, I don't really know. The Italian government also wants me to sign a peace treaty, which would only leave me at war with the French. I actually quite like that, because I still have some French territory to take. So yes, I will agree to a peace treaty with the Italians. I'm going to try and withdraw from this battle, but apparently not. So the Chiyoda is, or sorry, the Ahagi is going to have to take out the Sete and the Climene and a couple of transports. This is one of those last stupors of the war, if you will, where the enemy is, well, let's say the officials are discussing peace treaties, but the navies, the armies, they're still dishing it out. Why are you doing 9 knots? There we go. Full ahead flank. This should be fairly quick. Just a couple of escorts and then a bunch of transports to eliminate. Now, what I had off-screen happening, and this is weird because it's version 1.2.7 live RX2, the victory point bug is back. This means that I had 3 battleships, or rather 2 battleships and a battlecruiser go into battle with a destroyer. The enemy destroyer did nothing but bravely run away, and the enemy got 115 or so victory points for it. I thought, hey, this is an old school bug. We haven't seen this one in a while. But it's still there. Or it made a re-entry. I'm not so sure what's going on, but I just don't like seeing that thing back in action. Hopefully, that is not going to be happening too often, because it is a rather annoying bug to have back. Now, it looks like this destroyer is very eager to come and say hello. And, to nobody's surprise, it dropped a gift package on its way out. Yeah, is armor piercing the right call for this target? And we got... yeah, no, it's fine. Semi-armor piercing should blow a couple of really nice holes in this thing. That light cruiser might also have less than fancy intentions. Turn. What sort of design are you, anyway? Oh, you're the 4.5-inch gunner. Okay. So, there's the torpedo. I forgot that those hulls only have essentially 1 launcher available per direction of travel. No, that's a weird sentence. They can only shoot 1 launcher. There. Oh. Well, fix that for you. That cannot shoot any launcher anymore. My turn. Starboard torpedo launchers, all 9 of them, please. And just blow this thing out of the water. Thank you. That ought to fix it. So, what kind of damage numbers can we expect? 42,000 ought to be sufficient to take that thing down. And the Climene got hit by a couple of 1,000, 284, 346. Pretty good. So, eliminate some transports and we can be on our way out. What are you doing? I would very much like to get radar, but I'm not willing to invest that much into my range finding techniques. So for now I'm stuck with the radio direction finding and just powering through at 35 knots towards the target. Research-wise, I am looking to get marine diesels very soon. And with those, my ship should be a bit lighter as well as less... let's say less susceptible to engine damage. They should also get more range but I don't know if that's necessarily a useful thing. Because I have had a campaign where my ships ran out of fuel. That was the American campaign, short-lived as it was. I haven't had that happen since. And also with the introduction of oil, I'm not sure how that interacts with each other, because they simply don't explain. It's basically more oil is good, I guess? Ooh. More oil is good, more oil is more better, and basically your ships are going to get resupplied faster. It just doesn't get explained in the game mechanics very well. Anyway, Yahagi's going to clean up. We're going to be at peace with the Italians, we are at peace with the Germans, and we are ideally going to prolong the war with the French. I don't know who actually instigated the war with the French, because that was that whole weird... that weird clusterfuck, really, where I was part of an alliance all of a sudden after trying to provoke the Spanish. That was that weird situation. So, what I'm really expecting is that I'm kind of the leader of the alliance, but then again, the British were the ones who made peace with the Germans. I'm not sure. This is actually a pretty interesting site. That is not a good direction of travel for your transport, my friend. Okay, proceed. I don't think I've ever seen a ship go down quite like this, though. And they usually just kind of vertically sink in the orientation that they are. So actually seeing them go down bow first, that's pretty refreshing. I don't know if they add a new animation. Okay, we're done. Yahagi took 67 damage and dealt 75k, so I think that's a pretty good victory. 2 victory points for the Italians. Now, if the Italians are going to make peace, what territories would I like to get? Let's have a look at the world map and figure out what I should bargain for in the negotiations. Sicily is nice. It also is part of Italy's economy. As for other territories, they don't really have a whole bunch of colonies. Hold on, didn't they get southern France? Didn't they conquer that? Because that could really be an interesting position if the Japanese take over southern France after the Italians stole it from the French. That would be really, really funny. So, oh boy. No thank you. I know who these ships are. Those are my damaged ships. Withdraw. Thank you. Yeah, that's that victory we just had. Ships damaged by mines. The Italians... Oh, the Italians are taking a lot of damage to these ships, thanks to my minefields. 40% damage to the Otheon. And I lost damage to the Setsu? How? Because I believe the Setsu is in this group, right? No. That's the set... How are you getting hit by a mine? You are nowhere near hostile territory. The only hostile territory is Fort Bayard from the French. That's really it. Weird shit. Anyway, the naval invasion here next to Oman has failed. So what I'm trying to do is pull my ships back. This is the sort of reinforcing fleet. If the French battleship decides to make a play for it, then by all means. The ships here, that I just managed to pull out of the fight are going to head back to the port of Sasebo and get fixed. Because they're pretty badly damaged. As for the rest of my shipbuilding capacity, I'm almost maxed out. And I'm going for another shipyard upgrade. Just to keep shipbuilding cap from being stagnant around 422,000 tons. I don't like that this is how you have to do it, but here we are. Anyway, are the Italians still in control of southern France? Once the game stops lagging, I'll be able to see. Yes. Yes, they are. And they're even doing an invasion. They're doing an invasion of southern Spain again. But look at how many parties are involved. The attackers... There's so much happening. The attackers are Italy, France, and Germany. Although Germany... Oh, this is where it gets tricky. Germany signed a peace treaty with the British. Does that mean they're also going to pull out of this fight? I don't know. Anyway, the Italians are marching in with 1.7 million men. Apparently, I also have 147,000 men there. The Chinese have men, the Soviets, the United States, the British, and the Spanish themselves, of course. Now, the Italians have made a lot of progress. But they have lost 1.4 million men, as opposed to my 929,000. So they're not doing that hot. Southern France, if I could claim this of the Italians, that'd be fantastic. Otherwise, Sicily, Western and or Eastern, or Sardinia. Because this is a nice strategic position, and I do believe it comes with some decent shipyards, as opposed to the Strait of Gibraltar. Well, no, sorry, the Strait also has 130,000 tons. Never mind, it's not too bad. Alternatively, Southern Italy. I mean, this is one of their core territories. They're not likely to give this up. It's 2.5 billion in income. Central or northeast. Yeah. Any core part of Italy would be great to get. The rest is optional. Anyway, we got a convoy here. We have the Africa, which is Spanish light cruiser, against the light cruiser of the Attilia Regolo, which is another one of those 4.5-inch gunners. I'll take this one off screen. Ambushing. Wow, what have we here? This is a Sperber-class light cruiser from the Germans, who pulled out of the war, if you remember. And a French Le Mar of the Mécanicien Principal Lestin class, which is French. I have the Haggard, which is owned by Sweden. I have the Wakaba, which is owned by me. The Crosby from Sweden. The Tarifa from Spain. The Oboro from myself. And 2 more Spanish ships. This is a weird lineup. I like it. Let's go. So, how are we going to organize this mess? Just make it one big div. Before they actually line up into any presentable formation will be a while. Normal formation. Nobody torp. I'm going to have all sorts of different calibers of guns, different torpedo launchers, different types of torpedo launchers, different types of torpedo propulsion. It's going to be a mess. Look at all these guys trying to figure out where to go. Crosby, limit your speed. Go to 28 knots and allow the rest of the formation to actually, well, form up into a formation. Let's have a look at these ships, by the way. 4.2-inch gun bow, ports starboard, 1.9 and torpedo tubes. Okay. Almirante. 6 launchers off the back. Apparently we can shoot those either under or over the lifeboats. I'm not sure how they pull that off. 5.6 inch on the bow, 4.3 inch on the bow, 2.1s. Okay. Oboro is mine. This is another one of those. No, it's a different one. Haggard, 4.2 inch on the bow, 1.5, 1.5, and a torp set of 2 triples. You are the lifeboat launcher. The Tarifa is... Oh, this is yet another class. A 4.1 and a 2. And we got the Wakaba all the way in the back. What a mess. Okay. Let's go and charge the enemy. And see how many shells between all of us we can actually land on target. Also, I think that we can cross these... Or we can torp these guys from pretty much every which way. Everybody smoke yourselves up. And just launch... whatever you have. Whoa, speaking of. Holy shit. I'm getting cross-torped myself. Crosby, you're gonna have to turn a little bit. These are all outbound, so that light cruiser's in for a brawl. Cease torpedo launch. Everybody, here's the Wakaba. One of the legends. Yeah, you got so many torps coming for you, you're not going to be able to dodge all of those. Boom. That was 5.3. You, and you. Go after the DD, because I think the light cruiser is going to have plenty of issues. Oh, wow, and now they dodge everything. Are you kidding? There is more inbound. But if they just continue to turn starboard, they should not really have an issue with that. You launched... sorry, no, you did not launch your torps. Right, you're going to make a run for them. The Wakaba still has 3. But I'm not sure if she still needs help sinking. Is she going to squeeze in this gap? Is she really going to fit? Or is this torpedo going to hit their bow? If it hits the bow, it's game over for the Falke. If it doesn't... No, it doesn't. But somebody penned her. Because she has essentially no armor. Okay, Wakaba. Do what you do best. You, and you. Let's go. Crosby to flank. Tarifa to flank. I'm just gonna take this one with Wakaba. If I still need to. Nope, she's done. Okay, Wakaba turn. That destroyer of theirs laid a lot of torpedoes in the water. She really threw, what, 9 torps my way? The light cruiser, by the way, didn't even hit me once. Okay, open fire. Considering the volley, I'm suspecting that this guy has several torpedo launchers. Like triples. Yeah. Yeah, it put 9 torps in the water. 3 triples. So she's definitely not loaded. Also because she doesn't have a reload. Oh, you poor thing. You poor thing. And now you find yourself in the midst of a group of destroyers. So let's do what we do according to our name. Destroy. Wait. Of all the ships you damage, you actually pick one of mine? The amount of shell splashes from own guns is probably going to be a bit of an issue. No, not even, because we don't, we don't shoot that much. Okay. You got hit by a friendly. Ugh, fine. You. Almirante, join this one. Bloody hell. Knife fighting doesn't quite cover it. You go there, you go here. Crosby join the div. Oboro join the div. Figia. And then the Wakabe. Where's the Tarifa at? Oh, here you were. Come on. Perfect. Okay, so this thing is not going as fast as it could. Probably not because of its lack of engines, because it has engines. It's also a bit flooded, but I think it's trying to do collision avoidance. Because I had the Almirante basically park in front of it, so that she couldn't leave. The Almirante is doing a nice little drift there. I do need new destroyers, because my DDs, while they are very much up to the task, are not exactly what I would call fairly modern. So I'm thinking of going with a couple of 4-inch, potentially 5-inch DDs, as opposed to the 3-inch single-barrel guns that I'm currently running. So I'll probably have to do a bit of upgrading of the Wakaba class, but I think going with the new hull is probably the better way to go. Just make it a new generalist class of destroyer, because we don't need to sink a ton of capital ships anymore, and their capital ships are getting increasingly accurate. Over about a decade, I think, that the Wakabas have been in service, we have lost a couple due to fairly good short-range accuracy on ships. You can definitely see a trend where the destroyers are not going to be as useful doing suicide runs anymore. Okay, the naval invasion of Madagascar. Bloody hell, optimize the game. I can't even move the map. There we go. Madagascar's invasion is doing quite well. We got a little under 10 times the required tonnage, and we just need 1 more month. And that is when those last couple of soldiers are going to be out, which would add 1.2 billion to my GDP. I like that. Okay, I'm going to take this little convoy battle off screen because it's just going to be a bit of a slaughter. What's this happening in the world? The French, apparently they rewrote this. Nation France has signed peace with the United States. War reparations can be given to all members of the winner alliance. That would be me. The war continues after Italy and Japan don't exactly work it out. They want Italy and our nation to accept the exchange of prisoners. Do we need to lower my unrest? Not really. I don't negotiate. Ugh. Here come the here come the submarines. Auto-resolve this. I want to know if my naval invasion went through, because I don't see it on the list anymore. Oh, they were able to escape and they hit the destroyer. Oh. Now we're raiding a convoy. I don't care for your convoy. Chiyoda, Wakaba. Okay, I cannot auto-resolve this as I was planning because it's the Wakaba. The Amalfi and the Diamante have 5 transports. I don't understand how Italy still has an economy left, because we've been hitting them everywhere with convoy escorts. Or rather, with convoy destruction missions. They keep losing so many transports, and every month you get this pop-up saying, hey, they lost transports there, they lost transports there. I don't know how they're still able to keep the whole thing afloat, but here we are. I want the Cyan out of the div. And let's go butcher a heavy cruiser and a bunch of transports. Now, it is a new month, and that means I'm going to have access to my new engine type, the Marine Diesel 1. With that, I intend to design a couple of new DDs. I haven't designed that many ships lately, so getting a couple of DDs designed shouldn't take too much time, and also shouldn't take that much time to build. These are 1,300 tons, and I believe I can do substantially more right about now. Okay, so this is your CL. I want you to focus on the CL. I want you to hold off on the torps. Focus down the CL. This thing had torps at what, 6? 7? They've improved. Oi! Cyan decided to send port-side torpedoes out. Loads and loads and loads of shells are getting blocked. This thing has too much armor. Also, no, it didn't spot the torps. Just decided to change direction. Okay, in that case, I'm probably going to have to send one ship after the CL and one ship after the CA. So we're going to split off the Wakaba and the Oboro. Don't pull that shit with me. Okay. Split. Like I said, don't pull that shit with me. Wakaba, you're going to turn port. Try not to get hit by a torpedo. You've been through worse. You're going to take out the Diamante. And you are going to go for the Amalfi. Prepare to strike. Range 1,500 meters. 1,400. 1,300. You're engaging the wrong DD. They do seem to be somewhat aware that trouble might be afoot. Okay, Wakaba, pull back. Oh no. I might land one hit. 1,100. That's fairly low. I was thinking I could get a little more out of that torp. I mean, we barely flooded them. Maximum bulkheads. That explains a lot. Multiple hulls. Yeah, double hull bottom. Anti-flood 2. Standard bulkheads, though. What about the Amalfi? Many bulkheads. Anti-torp 3. Triple hull bottom. Reinforced bulkheads 2 and anti-flood 3. This thing is going to be problematic to sink. Interesting. Okay, I want you to just stick around. And I want you to actually deal the damage. Wow, you're slow. Ooh. Like I said, the destroyers are starting to suffer more and more at the hands of these ships. Ow. Please. Nope. Didn't get him. I think the Oboro might be gone. She cannot retreat. She doesn't have the survivability because of her slow speed. Yeah, she's dead. Alright. That means that the Cyan is going to have to take out the Amalfi. Similar run, similar tactic. I want you to just follow the CL around, so I don't have to micro you. Don't use AP, just use HE against the Amalfi. Trained crew. We're going to see how good these trained crew members are exactly at turning off a whole bunch of fires. Because I think they might get a little overworked. Oh, this CL class and their dickish 2-inch guns. So annoying. Also, these CLs generally take essentially no skill to use. Oh crap, my torpedo launchers are reloading. They take no skill to use, because most of the time it's just keep the 2-inchers firing high explosive, and sooner or later the whole enemy target will just be ablaze. The only problem is I will probably take a couple of 8.5-inch hits. Ah! And potentially a torpedo. I wasn't exactly planning on getting hit. Thank you. It's the port side torpedo. Okay. Amalfi is 50% burning. Wakaba, don't die now. This Amalfi is proving to be fairly dangerous. And I'm just playing it like a derp because I'm getting a little overconfident. Which is a good lesson. Come on, Cyan. I need you to rush in there and just wipe out the Amalfi. I know that you have an engine. No, you have a rudder issue. Your engines are fine. Also, we're turning around a lot, and that is not doing a whole lot of favors to my guns, because they just cannot keep up. 1,200 meters, 1,100 meters. No, they knocked off all the torpedo launchers. I think it's time to run away. I don't believe that I can vouch for the safety of either of these ships at this point. So, this convoy gets to live. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yep, overconfident. Don't push in this much. Or use a heavy cruiser to do it with. More flooding on my stern. Run away. I'd rather have these things come back to dock and get them fixed up than not at all. I'm also planning to sell off the existing Wakaba class. Once I have the replacement, that is. How much armor do these things have? Future reference. 6 inches of main plus 105. So I gotta be able to pen 12 inches of armor or about 4.5 inches of superstructure. Okay, I can do that. I can do that. So that's what I need to pen. With the new destroyer class guns, I mean. These guns can't exactly do that unless you're at point blank range. The semi-armor piercing is not really the right choice of ammunition against this target, and it's proven to be very potent against my fire starting capabilities. So that was not my best battle. That's going to give the Italians some victory points, but it's not like we were short on victory points. I still have a ton of those. So, new destroyers. Now, as per my rules, I have designed a ship in 1928 already, the Yamashiro, which I still have to actually start building. But my shipyards are a little busy at the moment. I'm going to have to suspend some new builds, probably, because I just can't keep up with all of this stuff. Suspend construction on the broadside. It's going to save 151,000 tons. Even then, I'm still over. That's all those battleships and battlecruisers that came home. Hold on. Shimano is almost done fixing. That's perfect. The Setsu is a 1920s Makaho class. But I gotta fix it first. Before I can sell it off. Because that's what I'm kind of planning. To sell off the Setsu, because she's a 1920s variant of the Makaho. And if I want to refit this thing, I'm first going to have to fix it for 6 months, and then I'm going to have to refit it for X amount of months. That's going to take a while. 15 months for the Akagi? No. Akagi's getting scrapped. Anything else gonna take way too long? No, not really. Oh, I think that was part of the ship repair issue. Because now Setsu has jumped back to 4 months. Yeah, it's tonnage. Okay, anyway, destroyer design. New design. It's going to be a generalist DD, capable of gunning down targets. And I believe I have some fairly advanced 5-inchers at this point. So a couple of 5-inchers backed up by torpedo launchers should be fine. As for displacement, I can go to 2200 tons. Can I go bigger? No, because I don't have that hull yet. Okay. Make it 35 knots. I like him nice and fast. Can I just fold this up? Thank you. Standard. Oil 2. And diesels. 917 tons or 909 tons, but the diesels, they might be a little heavier, but your chance of engine damage is far less. It's minus 75% versus minus 45%. So this should keep the ship operational even when she's been damaged. And seeing as, especially for DDs, speed is life, you want to maintain speed. It is pretty expensive though. Oh no, never mind, it's not that expensive. Okay, reinforced, anti-flood. I'd say a triple hull bottom if I can fit it. And let's make them balanced rudders so I can keep them at speed. Depth charges, minesweepers, and advanced mine layers. I gotta be able to have all of these things on these ships. Now, this tower ideally would sit there, but you can say, I don't want it there, I want it over here, I want it over there. I could put it over here, and then the funnel there, and the secondary tower potentially in the back, like here. I'm not sure if this will fit, though. No, sadly not. You used to be able to do this back in the day. Put funnels in front of towers, but they don't allow that anymore. Sadly so. Okay, angled funnel. 227% engine efficiency. Your acceleration must be phenomenal. Acceleration, 1.8 knots per second. Bloody hell. Like, acceleration, 188% bonus. Now we're talking. Rangefinders, coincidence, because we're going to be switching targets. I want sonar and I want RDF. This is gonna get interesting. 5-inch dual barrel Mark IV. Unfortunately, it is not particularly suitable for this particular hull. Well, this will work. And I want one over there, over here. And ideally, I would put one over there, but I guess this is going to be more of a gunboat at this stage. Electric turrets, semi-auto loaders. Let's fire super heavy shells. These things cost me 20 million? Bloody hell. How much can they pen? 7.5 kilometers, 1.7 inches of armor. That's a joke and a half. We're going to make these long range, or long barrels. And if you really want to, you can make them 5.9s, but as I kind of was expecting, it doesn't fit very well in this hull. If I make them a bit smaller... No, basically anything but 5.1 doesn't fit. Okay, so now I have a range of 10 kilometers, and I can pen absolutely nothing. If I switch this to capped ballistics, I'll be able to pen a decent amount. If I go for soft capped ballistic shells, no, that's not it. Capped ballistic HE shells, I only get really 1 inch of armor pen at 7.5 kilometers, which means that you're not really going to be able to do as much damage as I would like, because it doesn't even pen the superstructure on that cruiser that I was just fighting. So in this case, probably not my best bet. Maybe high cap, so I can still pen something and set the occasional fire. And HE damage is really good. Reload time's 15 seconds, so these things are far less of a run-in and kill them type of ship. Let's give them 21-inch torpedoes with electric propulsion. And now, as I was kind of expecting, the ship is too heavy. So I'm going to have to save some weight somewhere. Yeah, this is fine. 35 knots would be preferential. No, doesn't fit. Okay. Guns, guns, guns. The 4 weight offset is not spectacular. Can I push this gun here? Kind of. Does it turn? Maybe. Because now I could mount the torpedo launcher all the way up there. It's a bit of a weird spot for the torpedo launcher. No, I'd rather have it here. Can I just push the whole tower back? Maybe make some room for it over here where it's nicely covered? Yes and no. The problem is now, it doesn't really have a lot of launch angle. Could I put another launcher? Yeah, but I'm overweight again. Crap. I got that 4 weight offset that I don't like. Put this a bit farther back. 10% weight offset. I still haven't added armor. Okay, so let's make you... Oh, I could just make you disappear. Okay, that sounds a little ominous. I didn't mean it as such, don't worry. Does this work? Yeah, it works. Sort of. It looks a little peculiar, but it does give me 8 long barrel 5-inch guns, which is nice to have. The problem is, this ship's going to be not as quick as I would like. What do I give up? What do I not bring? Mine layers? Not being able to lay mines saves me a lot of displacement. I can just leave that up to my submarines. So yeah, let's do that. And let's get this thing a bit of superstructure armor. Ideally an inch of forebelt and aft belt. I don't care about deck armor that much on a DD. I mean, if you get hit, it's basically gone. But I'm trying to maintain this thing a bit more range. Okay, we're going to boost the aft belt to situate that weight further stern. Push a little bit more to the aft deck. Boost the conning tower. 19 million for a destroyer. These things are not cheap. How does that line up against my Tsurugis? Oh, that's 57 million. Sanosawa, 64 million. Chiodas are 89 million. That's extremely expensive for that CL. Holy shit. Okay. Anyway, I quite like this, so I'm going to save the design. I am not allowed to do a new design, but I'm just going to see how I could build a light cruiser, the experimental light cruiser, because it's basically a large destroyer. The problem is, they tend to get really expensive really quick. Because this thing starts at 18 million, and the standard light cruiser, 15 million, the advanced 17. Oh, it's not as bad as I thought, never mind. So if I were to go for something like this, and put it out to 35 knots, yeah, you're paying a lot for speed on these ships. Whoa! Diesel is not cheap. They got an interesting main tower. What I don't like is how little deck space you have on the bow. Because if I could do it like this... I mean, it looks really weird. But I still have the ability to put bow turrets on barbettes. I mean, I could hunt stuff down with 5-inchers. Like this. But I don't think I'd be able to fit that many turrets. So I still gotta add like a funnel. Make it a huge funnel. This here, this here. Because now the ship is more or less gonna have the same capacities. Actually, less so. It might have more survivability. It might have some utility. But the pricing is 59 million as opposed to 19 million. So as much as I want to use this design, it's just not feasible. It is too expensive for what it does, for what it brings to the table. So I'm not going to do that. What I will do is order up a couple of those ships and allow for a couple of new destroyers to start getting built. Because with that, at least I'll have some destroyers available in the next 9 months or so. of that new type. Those things are very capable of engaging the enemy light cruisers, potentially in masses sinking enemy battleships. So that should be fine. Now let's see, capacity to build, not that much. And I still got more ships coming in. How long does these take to build? 8 months. Perfect. I'll take 10. We're going to slowly but steadily start pushing out the Wakabas. And I'm still under my limit. My money is still positive because I'm not fixing as many ships anymore. So yeah, it's all working quite nicely. As for the rest of the fleet, I got a lot of damaged ships, but they should all be fixed within the next 6 months. We still have some ships in battle though, but I'll save those for another time. Thank you guys for watching the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry I got a little overconfident, but if you've been getting as little resistance from the AI as I have, it's, well, it comes with the territory. Thanks for watching.